Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. Today's video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about a new pen that I received. I've had this for about, I guess it'll be a week tomorrow, a week on Tuesday that I've had this pen. So I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on it, some of my early thoughts. This was a grade up or promotion gift to myself. It's the Montblanc Meisterstuck Classique, and this is in the Glacier White. You see there. So what sold me on this pen was the PVD, the blue trim. I'm really not a white pen person. I think I have maybe, not including my Apple pencils, maybe a handful of white pens, but just the blue and the white in this pen just kind of sold me on it. I was kind of going back and forth which pen to celebrate my promotion with. I still have my Ultimate Grail pen that's really been on my mind more and more, but I did kind of forego that one for now. But it is definitely on my mind, that Pelican. But I went with this. This originally sold for about $800. I got it for $725, so I saved a little bit. They are getting harder and harder to find, but there are a few of them on eBay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give my thoughts on this pen, and then I'm going to show some up close of the trim and the nib. So this is a pen. You have your usual snow caps there at the top finial. You have the blue PVD coating, which is beautiful in this pen, and extends down to the clip. The clip is as usual. You have Montblanc Meisterstuck there at the band, also in blue PVD. Then you have a blue PVD infinial, and this nib is a medium. I didn't know which nib I purchased when I purchased it. I was just so happy to get the deal that I said I'll just take whatever. And it's a medium. I do prefer fine, so I would have been super happy if it was a fine, but I'm also happy that it's a medium because I do need to, expand my horizons a little bit. I have a ton of fine nibs. And here you have the section. You have a 14 karat gold rhodium plated nib. You have the 4810, and I think they said there's a dragon engraved there on the nib. It also says AU 585 for 14 karat. There's a blue plastic section there, or blue plastic piece at the end of the section. Then you have a silver band here, and then the rest is just the precious resin, which this feels like nice plastic, but just feels like plastic to me. But if they want to call it precious, I won't take that from them. It is it definitely feels like a quality pen. $700 worth? I don't know, but I went for it. And so we're gonna see how many turns it takes. That's one. So about a one and a quarter, which isn't bad. Let's see what we have in here. Some nice little cap liner down there. Fairly clean. A little bit of Visconti wheat fills in there. But all in all, very nice. Very nice pen. But that's the pen. So I'm going to do some writing samples. And again, I'm going to tell you what I like and some of the things I wish were a little bit different. Move over to my other camera here. So I did tweak my setup. I am in a totally different room. I still have a little work to do. I have a little work to do on sound, as always, and lighting. But I think I'm pretty much set for now. Do a little writing. It is inked with Visconti wheat filled with crows. based on the Vincent van Gogh painting. So this is Montblanc. And it's Meisterstuck. And it's a Classique. And it's Glacier White. There's something in this book that is throwing me off. What is this? See if that helps. And this is a medium, 14 karat. It's a pretty firm nib, no real line weight variation. Just a nice thick medium. Not really doing anything in reverse. So let's see, let's write the quick brown fox. Pretty nice. I don't post it, you can post it. I don't want to take any chances in marking it up, but you can post it, and it's pretty comfortable posted. So I really like this ink. It's a deep blue, no real sheen or anything, but just a nice deep blue with some shading. So that's what the Refill and Crows looks like. So I will do the Yoseka log for this one. I haven't done any Yoseka entries in a minute, so we'll do that today. So pen name, I'm just going to say Montblanc. Has nice feedback. And it is a medium. And it's 100 GSM. Again, the quick. You can hear the nice sound of that feedback. Visconti. Wheat field with crows. This is a pretty wet ink. As far as line weight, I can't find my ruler, so I'll have to use my Royal Farms Rofo card. On Montblanc's site, it says it is, I think it said it's 0.5 if I'm not mistaken. On this paper, it may seem to be even thicker than that. It looks like it's about 0.6 millimeters. So as far as notes, I would say it's smooth with nice feedback. It's a thick fine. It's comfortable. So the only thing that I think Montblanc could have done better with this, I'm not quite sure why Montblanc didn't just go all out and have this little ring here and the nib all have it blue PVD like the rest of the parts. I think that really would have set it off. But I mean, it's still beautiful, but I think that would have really it would seem like it would have matched a little bit more. It doesn't really make much sense to me why they wouldn't just go all out and have it all matchy, but still, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful pen. It's a nice writer. I will show you my transcriptions. So this paper is Midori paper, and this is, what is this? This is black and red, which is optic paper. Oxford optic paper. I mean, it looks nice. It was very smooth, nice in both left hand and right hand, but it did skip quite a bit on this paper. I did take a little bit, tiny bit of sandpaper to it, and it did help it a little bit. But if you look closely here, there are a few spots where it did skip. So these are the notes I wrote to myself. It's skippy. It does not like this paper. The grip is a bit small. So when I wrote this whole page, that was kind of my thought. Okay, the grip is a little small. So it wasn't bad, but if you have big hands, definitely not the pen for you. There is not much to this grip. And you'll also want to be careful when you're inking it not to get any ink on this white. Definitely not in the, I already have a little bit in the threads there. But I'll try to be careful with that from now on. But that's the inside of the cap. Nothing much going on there. It's a little liner there, down there at the end. So I'm going to give you a peek of my entire Montblanc collection. I did do a video, maybe a year ago, of my Montblanc collection. It's pretty much the same pens. I have added a couple. So there's a tiny bit of an update. So we have the Montblanc, this is a pencil. This is the Pix 26, I think. And next we have the 144. So it's a small one, 144. Then we have the 145 Chopin, the UNICEF version. One of my favorites, the 146. And then we have the big one, the JFK. Make sure I'm still in frame. Then we have some vintage ones. We have a 22 here, which is a piston filler. Then we have the 24. And next, 220, which is a knockoff of a Lamy 2000. This is made of Macrolon. This is a piston filler. And another knockoff. This is also Macrolon. This is a 220. I'm not sure the last number. 220 what of this one. This one actually is this is a piston filler. This is a cartridge converter filler. So I'm not sure what the exact number of that one is. I have to find that out. And then last but not least, we have the Bohem, which is one of my other favorites. So quickly, I'll just do a little writing of these and show you how they all compare. So we have the Montblanc. This is a Pix 26 pencil. It's a nice all-around mechanical pencil. Nice thick lid. And there's an eraser under here somewhere. Oh, you unscrew it. Terry, unscrew it. Maybe I don't. Could have swore that I saw an eraser with this. Maybe it was, I'm confusing with the Pelikan. I have a Pelikan pencil. So I guess this doesn't have an eraser. But that's neither here nor there. It would have been old and crumbly anyway. This is a pretty, fairly old pencil. Next we have the 144. This was my first Montblanc. Or was the JFK my first one? It's either my first or my second. I'm not sure which one. I think the JFK was my first and this was my second. This was my first Meisterstuck, we'll say that. So this is a cartridge converter. Filler. It is a medium. It's clean, so I'll have to dip it. It's a medium, 14 karat. It says the 4810 on the nib as well. Let's dip this. This is going to be kind of a long video, but that's okay. I love pens. Montblanc 144. This is a medium, 14 karat. Snap cap. No ink window or anything. Just a nice pencil. It's a West Germany one, so it's pretty old, but it's in good shape. Next is the 145. This is a Chopin. This is also a medium. Has the UNICEF filigree there, and this came with a Chopin CD and a very nice case. It's a screw top. It's also a cartridge converter. Is there ink in there? On the nib, it says again 4810 and some other stuff I can't see. Montblanc 145 UNICEF Chopin special edition. This is a medium. And this is Montblanc Mystery Black. Unfortunately, I only have Mystery Black. I have Irish Green, and I have Permanent Blue Montblanc ink, and some cartridges. And the Permanent Blue is a very weird, has a very weird consistency to it, so I don't really use that. So most of these are inked with Mystery Black. I do like to ensure that my piston fillers are inked with Montblanc ink, just in case I ever have to send them back for repair, but it's fair game for all the others. So this is a piston filler. This is a 146. So it has a thick, fine. See the Montblanc, the like Pelican, the nib widths or line weights are all over the place. And again, we have Mystery Black. What a beautiful pen. This one did have someone's initials or name engraved, and I was able to buff that out. This kind of quenched my thirst for the 140, 149. I think for me this is just the perfect size. So that's the 146. And JFK, another piston filler. Bunch of goo on this, or this ink. So JFK is probably also inked with Mystery Black. So Montblanc. And this is actually a fine 14 karat. I need to clean these pens up. A very beautiful pen. Looks like a wood post, but it doesn't. Beautiful. I need to get some red ink for that. And next we have the 22. And this is not inked. Dip a little bit more. Let's see. Montblanc. This is a 22. This has a nice extra fine. All of these vintage ones have nice extra fine nibs. And this is how it looks with the wheat filled with crow. It's a piston filler. It has a nice ink window. It says Montblanc 22. And this pour 24, like I mentioned in my early collection video, this one I thought I was buying a blue one, and I got this green. The piston mechanism was broken, and also the knob here was cracked, so it was leaking. So I had to, kind of glue it together, and I got most of my money back. But I decided to keep it because I really like the way it wrote. So since the piston doesn't work, what I do is I unscrew the section here. You can unscrew it, and I just eyedropper it. It does hard start, but once it gets going, it works. So I was happy at the end of the day. It's a little frustrating, but it does work. And, I didn't want to send it back all the way back to Japan. Who knows what would have happened to it. Probably would have ended up in the trash. So I'll still keep it. Lumps and all, it still works. And it's a pretty green. I like green. Green's a good color. I have a lot of blue pens. So two of my favorites, actually my last three are three of my favorites. This is the 220, which takes its cues from the Lamy 2000. You have your very almost invisible seam there. This is a piston filler with a nice ink window. It is made out of Macrolon. Is this inked? Let's see if this is inked. Yeah. Since this is a piston filler, it very likely has mystery black in it. 220. And I just love the way these nibs write because they're extra fine. Yeah. Actually, it looks a little blue. Maybe it has some of that permanent blue in it. But that is the 220. It's the snow caps on the top and the bottom finial. And I think this is my favorite of them all, although this is just a lowly little cartridge converter filler. I have a Montblanc blue in here, but it still has a pseudo ink window and snow caps at the end and the top. I like the silver and the Macrolon on this one. And again, the nibs are just divine. I'm not sure what the model number of this one is. I think I have it written down somewhere. That's just a Montblanc blue cartridge. And you can hear the feedback. And again, this is the kind of pen that I just like to keep buying and buying because I just love it so much. But I don't think they have any other nibs except for that extra fine there. And lastly, or almost lastly, I will redo the Classique. This is the Montblanc Bohème. So I'm anal, so I have to get the clip just right to line up with the nib. So this is the Bohème, and I think this has Montblanc Around the World in 80 Days in it. Just the cartridge. And I think this is a medium. Around the World in 80 Days is kind of a dark brown. So that's Bohème. Very neat pen. One of these days I need to get the courage to actually disassemble it and clean it out. But again, see if I can. There's the cartridge. Cool pen. And then lastly, one that we featured today. This time I'll spell Montblanc right. Montblanc. This is the Meisterstuck Classique. Medium. The beautiful Visconti. So that is it for my new Montblanc day and my updated Montblanc collection. I'll give you another quick view of them. Thanks to anyone that's stuck around for this whole 2-hour video. Hopefully it won't be 2 hours. So yeah, quite a few here. But beautiful pens. I'm very grateful to be able to have all of these. And thank you for everyone that's been watching and been sticking with me. Hopefully I did take a little time off to get my little setup here straight. I wanted to kind of up my video making game, so hopefully I'll be a little bit more regular in October. But thank you all for watching. I hope you're all doing well as always, and I will catch you next time. Take care.